to please stay on with us. We are just introducing this piece of information that is coming to our viewers. Let's take a look at the desalination plants in Iran versus the ones in the Gulf, and how much water they actually produce, and what happens if the war does escalate into strikes on such desalination plants. Remember that it's a very important part of the entire region, and now that Iran has claimed that these strikes have been in fact targeting desalination plants, let's look at how many there are, and let's look at its importance in the region. So Iran has around 75 operational plants. The capacity is around 3% of the consumption. So they have around these many, and now their daily production is around 6.34 lakh cubic meters, and the consumption is 274 million cubic meters per day. So a very small portion is currently being produced by Iran. Their consumption obviously is 10 times or that. So what happens actually if they are hit? 3 million people will be affected if all of these desalination plants. Remember that the foreign minister of Iran had said that 30 villages will have no water supply going forward. In fact, there will be acute shortages in affected southern coastal zones within days. So this is like cutting off an artery, cutting off a really vital line. Really water is necessary for living, and if they do that, if all the desalination plants are hit, around 3 million people will be affected immediately. The total number of desalination plants in the Gulf now are around 400 operational plants. The capacity is around 90% in Kuwait, 70% in Saudi Arabia, 86% in Oman, and 45% in the UAE. Remember, these are also all the nations that are currently facing the brunt of this war. They are also facing missile strikes and drone strikes. They are trying to use their air defense systems to make sure that these strategic targets are not hit. The daily production is around 20 to 30 million cubic meters, and the consumption is 100 million cubic meters per day in the Gulf. They have a good amount of capacity with all those countries combined, and obviously they have a lot of consumption as well. And what happens if these are hit? There are around 100 million people, 100 million, who will be affected if these are hit. There will be acute shortage within days and mass displacement of millions of people. So 100 million people being affected. There will in fact also be mass displacement of people, and this will happen